Hey y'all, Star Delta here, coming at you live. I hope everybody's well. Happy hump day to you. I want to share a little bit from a new location about consciousness, oneness, stillness. I know I haven't been out on YouTube for a minute. I've been trying to assimilate my spiritual awakening. Hello, Anna, how are you? I've been trying to assimilate my spiritual awakening, and so I feel like, hey, everybody. I feel like, I'm a little mentally behind, and I'll explain that in a minute. I miss everybody too. I just want to talk a little bit about consciousness now. Say hello, tell you guys how much I miss you, share some of the experiences that I've been having, share some of my beautiful energy with you guys. I'm in a new location, as you can see. Hello. I don't know where my future's going, but I know I'm not living in the past, and I know I don't really care where my future's going. That's part of the journey, right? So today I want to just talk about how I've been able to get there. For the last month, maybe 5 weeks, it's been really difficult. I kind of feel like I've been in a time warp machine, if you will. Things seem to be moving really quickly in my body at cosmic speeds. Cosmic speeds. The only problem is this: my brain, my computer, my mind is trying to assimilate it, and it's having difficulty assimilating it as quickly as I would like it to simulate it. And so when you first have a spiritual awakening, some of the things you think are true that are happening in your external environment sometimes are not what they seem to be. So I want to talk a little bit about the lower mind, I'm going to call it, and the mid mind and the higher mind, because that's what I'm calling them in my assimilation. Down here in the lower mind, where I have been my entire life, where I have identified with an egoic self, self-limiting belief, I'm not going to amount to anything. I have a certain religious belief. I have an upbringing. I'm a woman. I should do this. I should do that. All the things that we do, that we learn from our teachers, from our priests, from our pastors, from our wives, from our husbands, from our children, from our moms, from our dads, right? We all create a pattern of belief systems that we carry around in our head, in our egoic self, in the lower mind, that we believe, that identify us with who that is. Well, during my spiritual awakening, I've realized I had my spiritual awakening not down here. Down here is what's probably caused the spiritual awakening. Spiritual awakenings, like I've said, can be created or caused due to a number of things. Major trauma, death, something that literally snapped your connection to who it was you thought you were. Can be any type of trauma, or it can be nothing at all and just be your time, right? So when you get to the mid-mind, where I was, there was a stillness. I don't know how to say it. A stillness, a consciousness, a vibration, an unconditional love, a culpability that I could not deny, right? A palatability of the vibration that was ebb and flow, and it was just coming at me at leaps and bounds, right? And so my mind, of course, is trying to assimilate that and catch up. And it's not been a bad thing, but I felt it's been lagging, right? And I've been beating myself up about it, and it's not about that. You shouldn't be beating yourself up about it. You should learn to love yourself, because for X amount of years, you've been behaving, living, and believing. You identified with all of this egoic stuff that is who you thought you were. And when you get into the higher mid-mind, hey, ready? The mid-mind, you realize in that space of silence, that space of consciousness, that space of oneness with divine, with God, with source, whatever you call it, that I was able to identify that I am not that voice. I'm not that voice. And that brought up a really big question, a profound question. If I'm not that voice that's creating that ancestral chatter that never shuts up, I can be in the shower washing my hair, washing it a different way, and my ego is going to say, you're not supposed to be washing your hair that way. You should be doing it this way. And as long as I engage it, as long as I argue with it, as long as I play with it, it's strong, it's powerful, it has power. I think the thinking mind is a plague. I do. I think, I think the thinking mind has, I think it's cancer. I think it's cancer cells. And they proliferate. Or if you want to even go simpler than that, I call it my little minions. And I don't have any trouble finding a minion to perpetuate or validate or confirm my suffering. Because where one minion in, many gather, right? I'm sure you know people that you have complained about something to, and they agree with you. They tell you all of their suffering, and together there's two now suffering. And soon you got a fucking party in here. And it's proliferating, and it's growing, and it's growing, and it's I'm not laughing because it's not funny. I'm laughing because it's a conundrum. It's a conundrum. It's when you get to this mid-mind and I realized in my spiritual awakening that I am not that voice, that I'm not that person, that thing that's talking to me all the time, that virus, that cancer that's proliferating in my mind, that's causing me to run my body, my pain body, as Eckhart Tolle calls it, I believe. You know, I read that book. I can't even tell you when I read that book, 2011, 2012. Some of the stuff I resonated with, some of it I didn't, but for some reason I filed some information here in this computer, and I remember the pain body, and I reread it again, and things didn't quite mesh again. But if I read it now, I'll guarantee you it would mesh like no tomorrow. I can't find it. It's packed away somewhere in a box, so I can't find it, but I'm searching for it. So what I realized is we operate down here. 99% of the humanity and the race does. Hi, Marley. How you doing? Thank you guys for stopping in. We operate down here. It's the Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. I think he wrote that book in 2000, I want to say. Something like that. I don't know. I bought it. I read it. Some things that, you're welcome. Some things I could understand. I could wrap my head around. You know, he talks about, I'm sure you guys can relate to it too. We all talk about where we have periods of peace, right? Periods of consciousness. Maybe you're laying on the sand at the beach and the sun is hitting your body the right way and you hear the waves and you have this moment of consciousness, this glimpse of unconditional love and peace, right? This that I'm talking about, my friends, this is a undeniable, unconditional, palatable love that brings you so much joy and so much happiness So much that you can't even wrap your brain around it, okay? And it takes time to assimilate it because time is linear. There is no time. Time is simply a construct that man has created so we can get to work on time, so we can get the dog to the vet when the vet says it's his appointment. It's a man-made construct. And what we're experiencing down here in this 3D realm world is, it's a fucking movie. It's a movie. And 99% of the people are in slumber. They're not awake. And they're identifying themselves with the egoic stuff from their past, from their teachers, from their parents, from the school bus driver, from a trauma, from a tragedy, from a divorce, God knows what. Whatever it is, that's how they're identifying themselves. That's how they're functioning, because that is a learned behavior, right? But if you learn that behavior and you become conscious, can you not change a behavior? Yeah, you can. And it's just, that's why I say, that's why I'm laughing. Because it's as simple as the nose on my face, yet it's so complex and so hard. But it's not any of those things that I just said because divinity or God or source makes it hard. It is because my egoic mind, my lower egoic mind, myself, that I believed identified with all that past crap. When you're in the mid-mind, there is no past. There's no future. There's just now. And that's why I brought up Eckhart Tolle, because the book is the power of now. Now, present, now, right now, this minute, this very second. You don't have the past, and you don't have the future. 7-7, that's a divine number. I don't know why I was told to do this live, but I was told to do this live on a fly. Boom. 7-7, divinely guided number. So I have no notes. I have no nothing. I'm going off of everything that I am that I'm going through. Okay? And I know for a fact, if you stay down here, you're going to perpetuate suffering, discord, anxiety, the worthlessness. You are going to perpetuate more negativity and more humanity, suffering for the collective and for your soul's purpose, and you are doing no one no good. Period. I mean, I just got to say it. In the mid-mind, I call that the mid-heavens. That's the mid-heavens. In the mid-heavens is the comings and the goings of the 3D world, right? It's the comings and the goings. Cheers, everybody. It's the comings and the goings of the negative, the good, the bad. Okay, it's not the comings and the goings that are bad. We need, how can I say this? Every person needs a problem or something in front of them, a challenge to learn from. Yes? We learned how to ride a bike, we had training wheels. When we learned how to walk, we crawled first, right? It wasn't something that we just got by osmosis, right? So we need to have conscious awareness to know that when you're in the midbrain, the only way I can say it is like you're stepping out of the thinking mind. You're no longer in the thinking mind. And when you're no longer in the thinking mind, there's a space. I don't know how to say it. There's a space. And in this space is beauty, unconditional love, joy, bliss. Everything that I've been searching for my entire life is in this space. It wasn't in a marriage. It wasn't in the car. It wasn't in the house. It wasn't in my profession. It wasn't in my children. It wasn't in my parents. It wasn't in my history. It wasn't in my past. And it's not in my future. It's right here, right now. And it's as simple as the nose on my face, and it's free. It's free. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. You don't have to buy it. You don't have to borrow it. You don't have to beg for it. You don't have to ask somebody to give it to you. You already have it. No, that's what's so beautiful. You already have it within you. And if you can stop the ancestral chatter, the minions, the minions, you know. Remember, I did a video. Go look under Cracked Wide Open series. Look at the egoic and the ego. Tell me which is which. If you can become the observer, let me just take a minute. If you, I, humanity, any soul can take a second, and just say to yourself, am I behaving down here? Yes. You can't think, yes, Jennifer, you're absolutely on the right track. I don't think about anything, and that's why I emphasize there's no past and there's no future in this space, in the mid-heavens, in your mind. Only consciousness, only divinity, only unconditional love. There's a there's a rocking and a vibrational culpability that is undeniable. You can't deny it. And what you learn in this space is that in that space, you get a moment to step back and get out of the thinking mind, the thinking mind, the mind that proliferates cancer, the plague, the minions. And I had a break in that space. I had a break in that space, maybe a collapse in that space, because of the external environment around me, right? Because I was saying earlier, a spiritual awakening can come about due to a death or an ultimate betrayal of some kind, to where you feel like your very essence of who you thought you were was ripped literally out from underneath the feet you stand upon. That's serious enough ancestral karmic shit that will awaken you, okay? And that's my story, and you know my story, part of my story. But I don't really care about the story, because we all have a story, right? It's not the story. It's not the story that's important. It's the story is individual. The story is personal. The story is private, especially when you get to a spiritual awakening. The story is personal, and some of the things that you think to be true in your external environment during an awakening that perpetuated your awakening or accelerated your awakening, you may find to be absolutely true. Yes, because as we ascend, the veil is thinner. It becomes thinner and thinner and thinner. I read that book, The Road Less Traveled, I believe it's called, something like that. The Road Less Traveled, and they speak about the Jacob's Ladder, and they talk about how people speak of as we get older and we're ascending, that the road gets narrower, right? And if you can get out of here, and I'm going to teach you how to get out of here, okay? Because I'm living it. I've done it. I had my spiritual awakening I went to bed March 27th. I woke up the following morning and did not know who I was. Had a complete, utter break in reality, I thought. And now I am, I don't know what, 9 months in. And did none of what I saw in the beginning, none of what I thought and felt and experienced, they're not all this, they're not the same as they were then, now, right? Because you don't have all that information. You don't have all this information to get where you're going. Because when you have a spiritual awakening and you choose to take it on, you have free will. You can not do it or do it. Then there's a soul's journey that you're on, right? And that journey will literally propel you forward, push you, okay? And I don't mean physically push you, energetically push you forward, okay? And I'm being told to teach, because I'm a stubborn old girl, and I'm an old soul. And I have some egoic periods that are rearing their ugly head from time to time. It's not going to stop. It's going to continue till God rest his soul. My soul is removed from this physical shell of a body. Until then, I probably will have periods or moments, I'm hoping seconds, of egoic behavior or vomiting all over myself mentally or punishing myself and suffering a little more. But as long as I can recognize it and I can remain conscious of it, then it's behavior. And I can do things to change that behavior. So I want to talk a little bit about some of those things too, about the modalities that I'm using to change those. A man 23 with a girl 9, okay? It's kind of healing the inner child, but you have to find that inner child to heal it first. You have to acknowledge what you've done to the inner child. So meditation and mindful meditation, when I first had my spiritual awakening, I couldn't read a thing. I couldn't read a thing because nothing made sense, because the energy was so rapid, right? So knowing that I'm not the negative thoughts, I'm not the discord, I'm not the havoc that's being wreaked in my life. I'm simply the physical shell that is behaving exactly the way the egoic self wants me to in the past, in a negative fashion that is not good for my soul's purpose or the good of others or the collective. And it's never served my purpose. It's always caused me pain. It's always caused me discomfort in my physical body, right? So I don't want that. And that's why I say we, as human beings, as species, we need things in our environment to change or to propel us in evolution, right? Discord, lies, shit, love, happiness, joy, everything. It's like when you're in the mid-heavens here and you're in that space, that is the conscious coming and goings, I'm calling it. It's the comings and the goings of life, of life, of divine teaching us lessons. And each person's lesson is individual, is personal. It's yours. It's not mine, it's yours. Mine are mine and yours are yours. And they're different. And yours are yours. And they're different. I'll guarantee they're all based around fear, suffering, loneliness, worthlessness, shame, guilt. I'm never going to amount to anything. Why should I even try? That's the perpetual hamster thing. Why should I even try? That's the perpetual hamster wheel that the egoic shit, plague, cancer that's perpetuating itself wants you to be on. You have a choice to get off that wheel, for crying out loud. We all do, but it's for crying out loud. We all do, but that's why I say it's a conundrum, and as simple as the nose on my face, but as hard as crossing the Grand Canyon with no crossing the Grand Canyon with no fucking parachute. It feels impossible to some people, unfathomable, like you can't get there, you won't ever get there. And in the process of that, I'm sorry I'm stuttering, but my mind is going at 90 miles a minute. We're buying happiness, or trying to. How are we doing that? Oh, we're buying a new car. As soon as you get the car, you have it 6 months. Your perpetual desire that you're feeding, that egoic plague cancer that's in there proliferating itself, the car you just bought in 6 months is not going to have anything. In 6 months is not going to have anything. You're not going to even want it. You're going to be on to your next best thing, the next shiny thing that you think is going to bring you love, happiness, money, security, foundation. Anything you could think of, any word you think of, you think that that's going to bring you that, right? In your own situation. And when I say, no, money doesn't buy happiness, possessions don't buy emotional stability, all the things you buy, borrow, steal, take, want, desire, think you need, do not bring you a tenth of the happiness that this brings you. Not a tenth. It would not even come near you. You don't need to go anywhere. You don't need a shiny thing and a shiny nothing. Everything you need is right there with you. And that's where the magic happens, my friends. And that's where you ascend to the higher mind, the spiritual mind, the cosmos. That's where I am. Because I told you I'm a stubborn old gal, and I'm an old soul. I believe I'm an old soul. And when I see myself in meditation, my arms are crossed. My hair is still very long, blonde, and I have beautiful feathers in my hair, and it reminds me of a shaman woman, a medicine woman, a teacher, heritage is Indian heritage. My dad, my grandmother, she looked like a shaman woman, you know. I'm a Reiki practitioner, instructor, and people are always asking me questions about how did you get where you got? How do you get there? And then on one hand I say it's as simple as the nose on my face, but it's a conundrum because it's so fucking hard too. And so not many people are awakened. Not many people are conscious or living in the conscious realm. So now I'm up in the cosmos, and my external environment. Yes, and my location's changed. My external situation and my problems that I have that arise in my life, they're no different. What's different is my perception of them and how I respond to them. That's it. If the past are just simply memories of things I did, places I went, people I met, tragedies that happened, people that hurt me, jobs I had, like the birth of my child. People say all the time, I remember the birth of my child, but my child's 30 now, so I can't imagine the pain anymore, but I have the memory attached to it, right? Right? Everything that's in the past, I have no emotional, there's no baggage, there's no attachment to it. I don't identify myself with it. There's no attachment to it. Good to see you, the American one. It's going well. I'm going to do a review for you, my friend. Yeah, I have it right there. I'm going to do a review for you. Stay tuned. I'll be doing that. So I just want to say, I just want to tell you guys, I'm going to do some videos. I'm going to do some videos on some podcasts and I'm going to put some information in the video. If you want to subscribe to the channel, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. If this is something that resonates for you, that's awesome. I will post these videos underneath Cracked Wide Open, okay? I am much more than just a teacher, and I am much more than a Reiki practitioner. I have joys that bring me happiness in my life, like my grow, like my business, like my soaps, and some other things that I do on my downtime, my time, that fills my cup, right? And everybody's going to have them. But when you find out your soul's purpose, all of those things that didn't fall away during your awakening serve you and are serving you and will continue to serve you. That's why my grow has never fallen away. That's why my business has not fallen away. That's why my teaching has not fallen away. I've been a teacher since 1989 when I enrolled in nursing school. I became a teacher. That was a lot, eons ago, it seemed like. And now my realm is, I've taught medically, and I know the body, and I know the processes, and now Divine is saying, I want you to teach in another realm, in a spiritual realm. And so I will be putting videos up for those people who want that information. If you don't click the video. Don't thumb down it just because you're not resonating with it. Please share it. It's my desire to share it, my inspiration to have you share it so that people that are ready to hear the information have it readily available to them, because the information is scarce. It's not available. And when I start doing the videos, the modalities are going to be very specific. And if you follow the instruction of them, I promise you, my friend, if you do the inner work, you will see the divine through you, and you will meet your soul. You will find your soul's purpose. And isn't that what we're all trying to achieve? Right? All the other stuff we do are just tools, is a script, is a movie. Be the actress. Be the actor. Don't create the drama, because the drama causes ancestral karmic drama, and that comes back around tenfold. So try to sit and sense the stillness if you can, sit, even if it's only for a second, the first few days that you do it every day, and try to do something different out of your normal routine that you do in the morning when you get up. If you brush your teeth at a certain time, or move your alarm to the other side of the bed, and just observe what your ego says to you about those two simple tasks that you've changed. And then you can begin to, when it rears its head, silence, don't engage it, don't speak to it, don't answer it, don't ignore it, observe it, watch how it behaves. Because it'll change sides. It doesn't care what side of the argument it's on, and it'll do it rapidly, and it'll be loud, consistent, persistent, and it will do and say anything. So be prepared for that. The spiritual awakening, like I said, is a conundrum, but it's the most beautiful, blissful thing I've ever experienced in my life. I don't want to lose it. I want to share it. It's free. No, I'm sorry. I don't know who said that earlier. I don't know. Super chat. I don't know if I even have super chat. Divine, or that Google took my monetization away. I don't know why. So it's in God's hands. I'm powerless over it. I don't do this for money. I don't do this for money. I don't need a thing. I have everything I need. I don't want a thing. I could live in a box and be peaceful. I do remember a conversation that Eckhart Tolle had. Where did I hear that? I believe I heard it on the Oprah's. Oprah Winfrey is doing a. Well, shit. I have the book. I have his book. As you can see, I'm only on. What does that say? Oh, page 2. I'm on page 2, so I can close it anyway. This book I just got in the mail, so I was scamming through it. I would be using some Amy Aces right now because that's what I'm indulging in medication-wise, but I don't want to speak of that now, Eric, on this video. I will be doing another video. This one's going under Cracked Wide Open. So if you would like this book, please, 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 go to, where did I get this? I got mine at Amazon. No, I'm lying to you. I'm mistaken. I got mine at Barnes & Noble when I bought my... I bought my Brian Freud cards tarot deck. I don't know if you're familiar with Brian Freud or you do divinations, but it's part of a spiritual awakening, and I've been doing tarot since I was, I think, out of the womb. I found a Ouija board in my mother's room when I was 5. So, but it comes with a beautiful book, and it's the Oracle of the Fairies. I am a fairy in the cosmos, and I have my wand, and I am teaching, and I am sharing my beautiful energy with you guys. So, if you want this book, get it. It's a, I don't know anything about the book yet. I'm only read page 2 to page 2. To page 2. It's the new beginning, awakening your life's purpose. This is the 10th edition. But he also wrote a book called The Power of Now, which I'm a little taken back because I can't find the box. And it has that book in it. The rest of my books are on the bookshelf where I go. I mean, I do Deepak Chopra. I do, you know, I do many different spiritual teachers. Not one spiritual teacher can bring you or give you the vast amount of knowledge and energy that we all need as a soul. So it's beautiful that there are many that you can go to, and Eckhart is one. I know, I heard him talking about, I watched a brief snippet, and you're going to have to smack a girl because I have been going through it quite a bit with staying in consciousness and recognizing my egoic self and stopping it. And you have a tendency sometimes to go into solitude because the inner work is very painful and very gut-wrenching sometimes. And so I've been missing in action, and that's the only reason why. That portion of it is personal to everyone, and it's individual. You will understand when you get there, I promise you. But to help you, get this book. Get this book, get The Power of Now. And I think, I want to say he has one in between called Stillness something. But I've never had that book, and I've never read that book. But Oprah Winfrey is doing you'll have to go look at her channel. I think she's doing some kind of 14-week series with this book. And a friend of mine asked me if I saw any of that series, and I said, no, I hadn't. And so I was watching a snippet of it, and I ordered the book. When I went to Barnes & Noble, I got the book. But the whole thing I was trying to tell you was this. He was speaking about a letter that he got in the mail from a person that was serving a life sentence in prison. I found it profound because it speaks of what I'm saying here. It speaks of when I say I can live in a box. This gentleman wrote him a letter stating that his spiritual teachings and work has done him greatly, has served him well, and that he is at peace with oneness in a 10 by 10 by 10 cell, where he will never see the light of day again. And that's why I'm saying to you people, this is here, it's within, it's free. You already have it. You don't need to buy it. You don't need to beg, borrow, and steal it. It's here. 3 things to begin to awaken yourself. Stillness. Still the ancestral minions in your mind. Do not let them proliferate and cause fucking the plague. Because when they get the plague, you're going to be off in the neighborhood with other minions, and they are going to validate your suffering. They are going to perpetuate further suffering, and you are going to be in the cesspool of going down the drain, but you're going to be in a group out there. I call that the cesspool of life. You have an option. Get out of the drain. Dig yourself out of the drain, and they call it a drain for a reason. They call it a drain because it's dirty, it's shitty, it's nasty in there, it smells foul, it doesn't look good, it's perpetuated pain, misery, discord, and it has not fucking served you your entire life. It's the biggest goddamn cesspool to get out of. But it's possible. Not only possible, it's happening. Get ready. It's coming. Whether you like it or not, it's going to come, right? But if you want to stop humanity's suffering, meet your soul, and share with the collective and ascend in your evolutional journey, you can start the process right away. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait to have a tragedy like I had happen to you. You can make a conscious choice today. Today, baby. I need a drink on that. So, I've not read a lot of books because my mind is like going at 90 miles an hour. So that tells you why I'm on page 2. I probably have 3 other books over there that I've purchased and haven't touched because I can't concentrate. Because everything that I'm being told, everything I hear, everything I'm seeing, everything in the energy is divine. It's divinity. It's God. And I'm just the channel. I'm just the channel. I'm just the conduit. So now I'm beginning to slowly assimilate. Because I'm in the cosmos now. Like I said, the higher mind. So we'll close it with the higher mind. I'm in the cosmos now. I've come up from the lower monkey mind, down here with the minions, to the mid-heavens, to the cosmos. And I'm ascending up. And I'm going to continue to ascend up. And up here, All things are possible. All things are probable. It's easy. It's bliss. It's the most unconditional love I've ever felt in my entire life. It is joy. It is happiness. It is giddy. It is anything you think that you want or desire is here. It's right here. And it didn't cost me a goddamn thing. Now, some people would disagree with me and say, no, it cost you a lot from your past. No. It takes what it takes. And sometimes it takes a village of shit to get you to the other side. You must have darkness, discord, and shit to know what you don't want and to get to the other side of that. You cannot get to the light without going through the darkness, without looking at the cesspool that you've created for yourself, that we all create for ourselves. That's harsh, I know. I'm sorry, I don't mean it to be. I have no judgment. I am one stubborn old bitch, and I have no judgment, so please don't take it that way. So I will post this video under Cracked Wide Open series. If you guys want to watch it. Please share it. I would really, really appreciate it. Thumbs up it. Leave a comment. Sound off below. Don't be afraid. That's one of the egoic's traits. I can't leave a comment. Somebody's going to see what I wrote. It's your soul. It's your comment section. If your soul's asking a question, honor your soul. Jot that shit down, baby. No judgment. There should be no judgment. Judge and be judged, right? Judge and be judged. So, I'm going to be doing probably a Cracked Wide Open video once a week. It'll be an instructional video. I'm going to take you guys from the beginning all the way into where I'm at and give you modalities, my meditation, the things the books I've purchased that I'm going to read that have been suggested to me. I'm going to give you some other modalities that I use that have been very effective. For now, try to just stay present. Just try to stay. You know, when you hear that voice and you go, what voice? I don't have a voice. I don't know what you're talking about. That's the voice I'm talking about. Okay? You could be driving your car on the freeway. You could be taking a shower. You could be cleaning up dog doo-doo in the front yard or mowing the lawn or grocery shopping, and it's going to ancestrally chatter with you. I am writing, my friend. I'm writing how to heal the inner child through consciousness. And I'm not writing it. Consciousness is writing it. And I'm just the conduit to put it in a book form. That's it. It's valuable information. This man, I don't know when he had his awakening. I'm ashamed of myself. I should know him more personal. And I don't, but I will. I'm going to make it my mission to get to know him and his journey and his things, because he's the one person that keeps popping up in my dreams. He keeps popping up in my meditation. He keeps popping up in my energy field. So this man and I, our paths are going to cross. I don't know how. I don't know where. And it doesn't matter. I don't need to know that. But they're already passing. It's that space that I'm talking about, that comings and going. I'm already receiving energy from the cosmos, from the collective, and Mr. Tully is in the collective. He is a huge spiritual guru teacher, and I honor him. Namaste, sir. I am ashamed I've not read your book yet. Please forgive me. I know not what I do. It's a process, guys. It's a process. So, I'll be doing a Cracked Wide Open video. As you can see, I'm in a new location. I will be putting up a tent. I've got some stuff right in front of me that you can't see. I'm going to be dropping some junkyard Afghani and some hash plant probably. I'm looking to buy an HLG. If anybody can get a hold of GML or Steven and see if they can cut me a break on that price, for crying out loud. $897 for the 550. Ah, ah. It's like, goddamn. And I wanted to. If I can get them a little cheaper, I might get the two. We'll see. So I will be doing soaping videos. Still, my product's not falling away. It's just going to be an apothecary, medicine, shaman, grower. So stay tuned for that. I'll be doing grow videos again on a regular basis. Recipes, soaping, and I'll be doing as much as my energy allows. I have to give myself and my soul first priority, and if I feed my soul, then I'm able to feed other souls. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. It's a win-win situation. So stay tuned for those. I will be putting them up. I don't know the schedule yet because I can't seem to write it down. I have a clipboard and I have a big board, and it's all prepared to write it down. It's just, as I've stated again, the energy is moving very rapidly and very quickly. With who? Big boards. I just for less than 300. Oh, really? Really? I really would. I left an email with Gmail with GML. I missed the Friday night, but I with what's happening to me, my external environment has not quite changed. I mean, it's changed some in a positive way, and so I'm still dealing with my external circumstances. So with the awakening and all of the other things that are going on, just please be patient with me. That's what I ask of you. I'm at a point now where I can start to work. I feel like I can get back out into society and deal with what's happening out here in society and get out of this hermit isolation mode. Today I feel that way. So that would be a question I'd like to ask him. How the hell did you assimilate yourself back into a 3D slumber of humanity and not want to rip your flippin' hair out of your head because people are not they're not behaving on a divine level of energy. I don't know, because that's the hard part, and it's in this. It's 280. Okay, 280. Oh, you should email me, Mr. Greenbody. The space in the cosmos, in the heavens, right here, the mid-heavens that I talk about, the comings and the goings, that's where that is. And so it will be figured out. Divine will bring me exactly what I need. What I don't know what I need, but she does. He does. The collective does. My ascended masters, angels, and guides, they know what I need. I don't know what I need. I know not what I need. I know not what I fucking do. Right? But I'm staying here. I'm staying in consciousness, and I'm learning to control this egoic cesspool of the plague. And so it does not create physical pain to my body and me to react in a really negative emotional way to other people or myself. So it's a win-win. Yeah, email me, Mr. Greenbody, if you could do that, please. I don't know when Google's going to give me back monetization. I do have Patreon. I do have an email underneath the About section. If you guys are seriously interested in donating to the channel, feel free to do that. It'll go into spiritual literature, videos, cameras, anything. I don't need a thing. I could sleep in a bag, and I could wear a shaman's gown and wear no makeup and live in a box. I'd love to give you, you know, camera lights and all the glory shit, but it's not necessary. It's not necessary. Girlicious is going to get one? Okay. He's going to get one, a live. Okay, well, I will probably do a live about that because I want to do a review on something. So we'll discuss that further in the other video. I apologize, I can't edit this out, you guys. So those of you that are looking for the spiritual information and this information offends you, it's not my intention to. It's just something I enjoy doing, and I'm fucking good at it. How about type in quantum board? Okay. 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 Oh, beautiful. Thank you, sir. Namaste. That's lovely. That's beautiful. So you guys stay tuned. I'll post this under Cracked Wide Open. Please share the video. You never know who needs the information. I'm sorry it wasn't structured. It wasn't on a note or a cue card, and I don't have someone filming. It's just not what Divine's telling me to do. She said, sit down and talk to the people. That's what I want you to do, my darling. And so that's what I'm doing. And I feel beautiful. The exchange I'm having between you guys, even though it's on YouTube, I feel it's lovely. And I'm sending my remote energy back to you guys. You know I'm a Reiki practitioner too, so I'm sending you some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy. My hands are hot. I can see my aura already. I love you guys so much. Namaste. Stay tuned.